Well, for many seniors, as Wendy said, there may be no retirement because they can't afford to retire. Rachel Ensign joins us on the set to tell us all about this. And this is sort of chronicling the zeitgeist of the moment, the toughness, but it's also a bit of a sad story. Do tell us about this. People can't afford to retire.
Yeah, more and more people are reaching 65 and finding that they're going to have to keep working because they just don't have enough money to retire.
That's our parents. I mean, our friends' parents. Everyone I know is really talking about this. But this raises a big problem because how do they get income, Simon? I mean, if you're at this point where again, the job market's what it is, and you're an older worker, and maybe your skills haven't been buffed, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do, Rachel? I mean, what are some people...
Not to put you on the spot at all.
No, put you on the
solve
spot.
this economic crisis for us right
what
now.
do you do? And you know, we all want to retire at some point, but if you're at that point where you haven't got enough money, what should you do?
Well, I mean, the first and the best choice is just to stay with your current employer. And I think what all of the experts said was that you really have to make yourself essential in this tough job market to keep your job. So, you know, they said you should really keep up your skills, keep them fresh, take training courses, and also stay involved, mentor younger workers, and, you know, just take on new projects. And also recognize when you can't do your job any longer and move to a different position.
Now, one of the things you say here, the way that your 401k is set up, which is the retirement plan that most people use, is such that if you stay with your company, you don't have to take the money out, which you do with other types of retirement vehicles. That's good news, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, it's great news, but it's most 401ks, but not all, so people need to check with their employers.
And the other part of retirement is simply, you know, how you spend your money in your leisure time. I mean, whether you do that extra renovation on the house, whether you buy that boat and take that year cruising. I mean, these are the retirement may just become a much smaller package than you had ever hoped it would be, and people have to sort of mentally, I think, adjust to that.
And we got some statistics here. We're going to see a little chart. I mean, the number of Americans working over the age of 65 has increased by 59% over the last decade. There it is. That is quite a leap. That's from 2001 to now. Obviously, we are aging as a society. We're all getting older every year, and not as many younger people. Is that shocking to you? That's kind of a big thing.
What I'm wondering too. I mean, yes, that number is very shocking and frightening to me in many ways. But also, I'm wondering, is 65 the typical age in other countries where people retire, or were we retiring earlier than other people to begin with?
Great question.
Yeah,
I mean, from
that's
Europe
a great question.
Well, in Europe, I think people are generally retiring earlier than here. I think Americans love to work. They love to go to work. One of the things that I would say about that age 65 that we keep talking about, it's when Social Security was invented to kick in on average. But here's the thing: you were expected to be dead at 63 if you were a man.
You're a man.
So this was a great deal for the government. It was like, great, if you make it to 65, we'll give you something.
Right.
But you know, if you don't, you don't. Maybe, I mean, this goes to, maybe it's unrealistic to expect everybody to be able to retire at 65. Maybe working longer is just a fact of life that, you know, people are fit, they're not unable to work.
And if Social Security changes, I mean, which we're going to see that on the table is in Washington over the next few months, you know, that age could change.
That age could change. I would urge everyone to go and have a look at this great story. It is in the Sunday Wall Street Journal, which is probably inserted in your local paper. And check out this story by Rachel Ensign. And if you don't get that in your local paper, then come on.